Welcome to Us and My Mice. Love you and I, 'cause I love you so much. Oh, 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 I just love you. I just like help, help. I just like help. I just like you too. I just like you. I just love you. Happy New Year.
Well, that was Ariana Stanley giving us a warm welcome this morning.
Yeah.
So, but welcome. Today's the kind of the week in review. This is the Optimize Your Life show brought to you by the Hope Collection, and Monday through Friday from noon to 1 Eastern time. We have shows every day. Actually, there's more than that, but the main shows are at noon. And they're so exciting. Monday is Hometown Heroes. Tuesday is Travel Tuesday. Wednesday, I get to host Beth Wyman, a registered nutritionist. And Thursday is our own Bob Oakley on Family Matters. And Friday, we honor our sister charity, the Golden Rule Society, and Captain Len Kane. Actually, Captain Kane is in Washington, D.C. with one of those hero flights this weekend. So that's really exciting. So
Great.
But, go ahead. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, he's quite a... Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, Len is quite an accomplished man. He's really involved in so many things, and he's had tremendous successes throughout his whole life. And he's just a good example for all of us, that he's helping so many people, and that's his focus in his whole life. So I'm proud to be associated with him through the Golden Rule Society.
Definitely. Ron is joining us right now, too. So, good morning, Ron. Say hi to Bob. Hello.
Good morning, Bob. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. God is good.
Yes,
He's taking care of all of us.
Yes.
I mentioned about Len that he's such an accomplished man. I feel the same way about you, Ron Clayton, and you, Linda. You both are just reaching out to people and helping them, and just doing wonderful things that God wants us to do. And so thank you both. God bless you both.
Well, Robert, we were both privileged. We were all privileged to have been mentored by a great friend, a spiritual leader, a man of God, a man who just lived his life as an example and demonstrated what it is to be a servant leader, and that's Joel Ripping. And he emphatically impacted not only our lives, but the lives of our family and everybody around us. And he set an example on a standard that takes us to a new level as we go through this world together. And when Art asked me and you to carry on his vision and legacy of the Hope Collection, we both committed, yes, we'd do that. And it hasn't been easy. And it wasn't easy for Joel either. In the last 2 years of his life, he was desperately ill with cancer, and in spite of that, he still was out every day working to try and touch lives and helping us to do the same. And so it's out of that love and respect that we do that. We do the same with Len Kane. I'm so excited that not only is he and Ann coming on the cruise, where Carnival Cruise is sponsoring the cruise. Right now, we've got some really exciting things coming on. Some of the board members of not only of the Golden Rule Society are coming on the cruise, but we very strongly this week I should hear back from one of the head attorney and the treasurer for Intiva Health. Jim Kyle and his wife have committed to come on the cruise too, and this will be the first connection that we're going to be able to have with the internal workings of a Teva Corporation representative on the cruise. So very, very excited about those things. And other people have been joining. It's really turning into a great tribute to Len, and I'm so proud to be able to pull it off. By the way, he just got recognized as Man of the Year again, and Who's Who in America and Who's Who in the World. So that's another attribute. So, and this week, of course, he's being saluted and honored in Washington, D.C. at the Vietnam Memorial and other memorials as a hero, and they have a whole program for him being recognized with some other people coming out of San Diego, really across the country this weekend in Washington. So we're saluting him.
That's great. It's just typical of what's going on in his life and how he's getting rewarded for all the things that he's done to help people over his lifetime. And so that's, yes, tremendous honor that he's receiving. I need to talk to you later, Ronnie, after the call. I want to talk to you a little bit about the travel business. So if you're available, I'll call you right after we get off of this call.
Great, Robert.
Okay. I think I might have something going in that business. So that's what I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, we've been traveling ourselves and helping other people travel. And it's really been exciting. We were in Florida last week. I'm glad we were in Florida for the storm. We had just such beautiful weather. We took a lunch river cruise that right now that river is probably overflowing. But when we were there, it was just so much fun. Luckily, so we didn't take the dinner cruise. I like lunch cruises because you can see more and see the houses along the river and all the things that they were pointing out. To us, very strange birds, pelicans and different birds, which were really cool to see. We had a white stork. I don't know what exactly it was called, but land right next near us when we were driving along Route 1. It was just so cool. We're used to sparrows and starlings, plain birds up here, and to see fancy birds. It was kind of cool, just out in nature. We did not see any alligators, so we weren't quite that lost when we did get lost. We weren't that lost that we saw alligators, but it was a good time. And it was just, and it's funny how God just puts people in your path. And we were lost at one time, and we weren't even on a highway. We were on back roads of Florida, and a truck pulled up next to us, and Ron asked for directions, and he just kind of shook his head. He said, "Just follow me." And this man went 45 minutes out of his way to get us back to civilization. He was so nice. But I've just been thanking God for him, because I don't know how we would have found our way out of where we were. But it was just one of those things that that God is protecting us, and we were never in any danger. We were just going the wrong direction, and so. But that's that's how people are. They just no problem, just follow me. And we had gone on in St. Augustine. We went on a tram ride all around the city, and that was really cool. It's the kind that you can get on and get off but we just stayed on actually. But the history of the town, and it was just so wonderful, and just to being able to get out and about and explore new cities and new things, it was just a lot of fun. But but one thing that I was going to talk about today, which I've done at the start of every month, because I think Tuesday is October 1st. October already, although we've had a wonderful, wonderful summer. But, when we think about October, the first thing that comes to most of our minds is Halloween. But what about the other 30 days leading up to that spooky holiday? Want to share, shed some light on all that October has to offer. You know that the calendar once looked a lot different. In the original 10-month calendar, October was month 8. So that's why the name is Octo, Latin for 8. Now, I'm not really into the zodiac, but the zodiac has 2 signs in October. If you were born between October 1st and 22nd, you're a Libra. Libras are known to be calm and balanced with impeccable taste. And if you're born between October 23rd and 31st, you're a Scorpio. Scorpios are known to be passionate and magnetic with a strong will. And my mom's a Scorpio. So her birthday is coming up on the 25th of the month. Yeah, 10/25/27, 1927 she was born. The changing of leaves is one of the most spectacular events of October. It's also quite a draw for tourism. In the U.S., people travel to the Northeast where large swaths of maple, birches, and poplars turn from green to dazzling red, yellows, and oranges. And that's always so pretty, especially around here in upstate New York. And even though the days are getting shorter and cooler, we're reaping the benefits of a passing summer. October is known as the best harvesting month for many crops, including apples, carrots, corn, grapes, onions, potatoes, squash, and obviously pumpkins, too. Do you know over 50% of the U.S. population buys at least one pumpkin in October? October pumpkin industry sells $708 million worth of pumpkins every year. Excuse me. And carving jack-o'-lanterns is definitely one of our favorite October traditions. Now, I know this one. The opal is the birthstone of October, and it's the only birthstone that isn't crystallized and can take on many shapes and colors. Opal deposits have even been discovered on Mars. How about that? The month's flower representing October is the marigold. And when we see this bright yellowy orange flower, we think of the fall sunset and the changing leaves. And marigolds represent comfort, healing, and protection. I have to let my brother-in-law know that because he plants marigolds all along his front walk every year, and it's always so pretty. But comfort, healing, and protection, isn't that just what you want around your house? Now, the World Series of Major League Baseball always starts in October, and the first World Series took place October 1st, 1903, with the Boston Americans winning it all. So here's a fun October fact. If you were planning on seeing a movie in October of 1994, there were some certified classics to choose from. Did you know that Pulp Fiction, The Shawshank Redemption, The Lion King, Forrest Gump, and Jurassic Park were all in theaters at the same time? Which I didn't know that. And also, when you think of October, you think of Oktoberfest. It's the world's largest beer festival. It takes place every year in the Bavarian region of Germany. And this gathering is so popular that over 6 million visitors consume over 7 million liters of beer each year.
We also get an extra hour of sleep in October because we change the clock.
Yes, that's right. So you getting ahead, you fall behind. Do we get an extra hour or do we lose an hour? I never remember that. So we gain an hour because we fall back. So yeah, that's right. That's not on this list. I'm surprised because they have all fun facts about October. Some of the days in October. Now keep these on your calendar. October 2nd is International Coffee Day. October 8th is National Kick Butt Day. October 15th is National Grouch Day. I don't think we need a National Grouch Day. October is the National Food Month. It's National Pizza Month, National Seafood Month, National Popcorn Month. Okay, that's kind of silly. But let's see. So October 14th, there's 3 holidays packed into it. Canadian Thanksgiving is on October 14th. Columbus Day is a federal holiday, the second Monday in October. And Indigenous Peoples Day is also October, in October. And, of course, October 31st is Halloween. I found some things about Halloween which I just want to share with everyone because I always thought of it as really just like an American tradition, but we got an ad, being travel agents, we get all these ads for different places around the world, and the Cotswolds in England, which is an area that we just love, but they have big Halloween celebrations, but traditionally called All Hallows Eve, is celebrated the evening before the Christian holy day of All Hallows Day or All Saints Day, which is November 1st. Therefore, Halloween is always celebrated on October 31st. Now, in England, saints or holy people were called hallowed, hence the name All Hallows Day. The evening, or Ean, before the feast became popularly known as All Hallows Eve, or even shorter, Halloween. The origin of Halloween can be traced to an ancient festival called Samhain. It's spelled quite different, but it rhymes with cow-in, so Samhain, meaning summer's end. The ancient Celts believed that the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead was at its thinnest during Samhain, or Samhain, and that was became associated with ghosts in graveyards. After midnight, the ghosts are said to go back to rest, and that day, November 1st, later became All Saints' Day. Following the Roman Empire's rule over the Celt-occupied lands in the 1st century A.D., the Romans incorporated many of the Celtic traditions, including that one, with their own. 800 years later, the Roman Catholic Church further modified that day, designating November 1st as All Saints' Day to honor all saints from Christian history. It marked the end of the harvest and the start of a new year. The Irish used hollowed-out, candlelit turnips carved with a demon face to frighten away spirits. The name Jack-o'-lantern, I thought this was fun. The name Jack-o'-lantern comes from an Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack who invited the devil to have a drink with him but wouldn't pay. Jack tricked the devil and made a deal in which the devil couldn't claim his soul, but God didn't want Jack in heaven either. No, Jack stuck roaming the earth as an evil spirit with his lantern shining the way. And the Irish would carve scary faces into turnips or potatoes and place them near doors or windows on Halloween Eve to frighten away Stingy Jack, an evil spirit. When the Irish immigrated to the U.S. in the 1940s, they found few turnips in the U.S., but they used the more plentiful pumpkins instead. I thought that was pretty interesting. I hate to be stingy Jack that neither the devil nor God would want him. So that's a pretty sad person. But anyways, I thought every month, if a new month is coming, I'd like to just give a little history background of the month. But I'm surprised they didn't have when the clock changed from daylight savings time to, what is it called? If it's not daylight savings time anymore, what is the name of nighttime savings time? I don't know. Anyways, I just thought that was interesting. You know, with summer coming to an end up here in the north, anyways, it's getting, the air cooling down some, although it's still just beautiful, just very, very pleasant. You know, harvest, I remember years ago, Ron, we grew with a friend 10,000 green pepper plants. How many acres? I think he had like 10 acres of all the same crop that all were coming right at the same time. And you guys were taking everything to market every day. And it was a lot of work. But it actually was a lot of fun. That had to be good 30 years ago. But I'll never forget, you know, our friends owned a farm, and so the guys decided to plant all this cash crop, and which they did, and we just we became gentlemen farmers, as it were, and it was a lot of work.
I was a gentleman all the time when we were doing that. It was a lot of work. In fact, you ain't lived till you picked 10,000 pepper plants. You know, you hear the stories about at the time of the Civil War and how so many of the occupants of the South and other places were slaves, and they were actually harvesting and working, and it's backbreaking, and it really takes a special thought in a person. I got an appreciation for that life and that time and that time in our history and how it affected whole families. And, you know, we are so blessed today because in a lot of ways things can be done automatically and mechanically. There's advantage that takes a lot of the work off the backs of people. And, you know, I just think back at that time, my friend Jim Cressa, he was an A&P manager, and A&P went out of business. And he had his retirement tied up with A&P, and when they went bankrupt, he lost everything. Wow. And my friend was very, very disturbed, and he didn't know what he was going to do. Well, they owned a farm with obviously land, and that's when we came up with the idea to raise the peppers, because that's how we lived. That's how we paid our bills. You and Linda Cressa were working your jobs, which was the basis of helping us continue our life. But we had to turn around and find another source of income. But the key I'm talking about this about, Linda, is the fact that we had an alternative. We did something called a side hustle. There's all kinds of names they give it to people to do things different today. But if we hadn't created an extra source of income, we'd starve. So, you know, in today's world, because of the laws and everything else, it's very hard for a lot of people to do that. And we have in our hands today multiple ways that we can put money in people's hands. We can have people earn enough money to pay their rent this month. You know, we're at the first of the month. We actually, and I know we can do this, I can talk about it, because we've done it. And when you've done it, then you can do it again and again and again. The big thing is that there's lots of people who have needs. And there are also people that have lifestyles and they want to do stuff. Well, the Hope Collection offers to the world lots of ways and opportunities to create lifestyle income. And we're very proud of that. And we share that openly, and we hope that people will see that and take advantage of it. And I'm so proud because every week, Linda, you put on this morning radio show, and you have to prepare for it, which you always do, and it makes it something that makes it worthwhile. And that's what our goal is to do every Saturday morning. And like I said, I'm so proud of you because you took over this show and you have helped lead it to become a vital part. A lot of people, they get on the call and they learn from it and they use some of the tools that we share. So we encourage people to do that.
Great. Thank you, guys. You know, it's just there's so much going on every month, but October is a very special month for a lot of people, and November also. But I know that we in our church we do a lot of special things in October. One of the things that we do is that we do honoring. Not only honoring our Lord, but and asking Him for special blessings for our families. And we have a particular service called All Souls Day, and where we honor all the souls that not only that are living, but those that have passed. And it's as a reminder of, and we ask for special blessings for all of those family members and friends as well. So I just thought I'd mention that because you talked about so many different events going on in October and different celebrations. One other thing I want to mention is about the Elks Club. I'm a sustaining member of the Elks Club, and I was looking at it. I received a card this week from the Elks Club, and it has 4 pictures on it. One of them is an injured veteran. He lost his leg, and another one is a picture of a family, a husband and wife, and their child, and another picture of a woman with one of her children, and pictures of different people. And on the card it says Elks, and then underneath Elks it says charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity. And those are some of the basic things that we pursue in the Elks Club, which has I see it as a lot of synergy between the things we do through the Hope Collection. There's a lot of different organizations out there that are doing similar things. But the Elks Club is very, very active in helping people, and they do a lot of work with special needs children, and so and it says help us to help them, and so that's what we do. That's their motto, helping us to help them.
Yes.
So I just thought I'd mention that since I received that today.
Yeah. No, that's super. You know, and, you know, when we go out of our way to help somebody, you know, it blesses us as much as it blesses them. You know, again, that man that went out of his way for us, you know, a complete stranger. He did not know us at all, you know, and we never actually even got to thank him because he waved to us, he pointed which way we should go, and he went the other way. So I have no idea how far we took him out of his way to help us, but he was willing to help us.
45 minutes was out of his way.
What's that?
45 minutes out of his way. Because that's how long it took us to get back to Daytona. You know, speaking of helping and doing things at the Hope Collection since its inception, has been doing things. October 19th in Buffalo, New York, there's a radio station called WUFO. It's the largest black radio station in Western New York. And actually, it's the first privately owned by a woman broadcasting company and broadcaster. And Sheila Brown, a lady who we know, founded that radio station. And now she owns a radio station in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, the reason I'm telling you this is on the 19th of October, the Hope Collection is sponsoring a booth at a health expo that's being held at a major restaurant complex over on the Niagara River. And in Buffalo, and there's going to be workshops, and there's going to be we'll have a booth, and we're going to be presenting at that booth Beth Winan, our certified nutritionist and dietitian. I forgot. I've been forgetting to mention that. She's not just a nutritionist. She's a licensed dietitian. And she's going to be here. She's coming to Buffalo from Albany, and she's going to be there to answer questions. And we're going to set up to make connections to help people that are at the program. And then she's going to head up an expo workshop. Not only in Buffalo, our goal is to take this to the next place. In Buffalo, we got access to about 500,000 people through this radio station expo. But in Atlanta, we able to get exposure to millions. And the part of our booth will be the Cambridge Financial Health Program, where you can get to the point where, I didn't have to do it, but we chose because, as examples, I signed a contract with Cambridge to provide this service to our listeners, our members, and our loved ones. The program, because of what's happened in your credit cards over the last 3 years, most people don't know how much more they're paying every month, how much deeper they've gone in debt because of their credit cards. They're still paying on them, but if they're only paying the minimum, they got to go back and look at their balance because instead of paying it off, they're deeper in debt. Well, Cambridge is a program that it up front doesn't cost anybody a dime, and they do charge a $50 fee for their service.
Yep.
Ron, I don't think he realizes you're.
We lost him.
Yeah, he's still talking, but he's on mute. Ron, you've been on mute. We can't hear you. But the Cambridge financial program is something that really everyone should look into, because it's not just if you have credit card debt. It helps with budgeting. There's so many different programs that Cambridge Financial has. But I had a girlfriend who called me and said, I need to do something. And I said, before you do anything, get counseling. And Cambridge Financial has wonderful counselors. And luckily, she did call them. And, it's just before you do any, major financial situation, get some good counseling. And they just can really help. So, but with that, Ron, I think we're kind of over our time, so I'm going to say don't forget Monday through Friday, noon to 1 Eastern time, is, the Hope Chin brings you these wonderful Blog Talk Radio programs. And, take advantage of them. The call-in number is 714-816-4686. And sometimes people just call in to listen. If this goes out to 92 different countries. And so there's people listening and getting the information that may not call in, but they can hear this through the different platforms that we're on. So with that, I just want to wish everyone a wonderful weekend, and take advantage of the calls during the week just to learn things. Feel free to contribute, but just, again, just be a blessing to others this week. Any final words, guys?
I just want to say thanks, Linda and Ron. Thank you both for a great show. And we, Ronnie, I'll call you in about an hour if that's okay.
No, you can call me right now if you like.
No, I got My wife prepared my breakfast, and I'm going to go eat.
Oh, I'll sit
Okay.
down and eat that breakfast.
Well,
Hey, you tell
well,
Flo we said hello. Tell her we said hi.
I will. I'll tell her you said hi.
Okay,
Bye-bye, everyone.
See you guys. Bye now.
Yeah. Have a great day.